He was losing strength. As we grow older, one thing that we need to realize, let's don't ruin our tombstone in our twilight years. Okay, let's don't ruin our tombstone the last 20 years of our life. Because there's a lot of people still out there going for the Lord. Let's don't ruin it by doing something stupid toward the end of our life. You can just read church history, and I'm a big history buff, and you know that if you've been in my church for some time. There's some great, great men and women that basically ruined their tombstones the last 5 to 10 years of their life. Two of the greatest missionaries that our country has produced, one of them was Lottie Moon. You go to a Southern Baptist church, there's the Lottie Moon offering every Christmas. Tremendous missionary in China. But toward the end of her life, man, she got extremely depressed. In fact, toward the end of her life, she was known as somebody who was cantankerous, depressed, and just not pleasant to be around at all. She just didn't end well. C.T. Studd, who I think probably in the last 200 years was probably one of the greatest missionaries ever. Went to China, went to India, and toward the end of his life when he was 60, went to Africa. But when he was in Africa, got so cantankerous, so mean, his own children and son-in-laws who were with him did not even want to be in the same missionary complex as him and went and started churches other places. Why? Because they couldn't stand to be around him. He was just mean. When we grow older, we need to be careful that we don't ruin our testimonies in the end of our lives. Let's keep that sweet spirit. Let people think, when they think of us as somebody that loves the Lord to the very end. Somebody that wanted to serve God till the very end. Somebody that was pleasant to be around. Somebody that was always there when we could possibly be there. Man, we're at church. Let's finish right. Because our strength is going to wax faint. Our own strength, it's not going to be there like it was when we were young. And if we're not careful, the devil will use that and will really hurt our testimony. I hope you don't think I'm picking on you seniors, because I'm actually putting myself in that same company. But now for the rest of you who don't think of yourself as old at all. You're young. I probably consider myself still young. There were David's strength. I think what was important here, why David made a big difference. If you remember 1 Samuel, guess what's happened? What do all the men are doing? Man, they're out there fearful. Here they're out there doing what? Man, they're out there fighting the giants. Big difference. And you know what I think the big difference is? David's out there leading the charge. Different from Saul. But there, in this second part of my sermon here, David's strength, they're out there fighting. And the reason why I think they're out there fighting is they've heard the story. Folks, they heard the story. You have two nephews here of David's fighting, and you also have at least one mighty man when they categorize David's mighty men, and possibly another one. Don't you know they heard the stories? They were probably there when David is warming himself by the fire, They come by and say, Uncle David, tell us the story when you killed Goliath. Tell me about when you killed Goliath. I want to hear about it when you killed Goliath. That's a great story. And David probably whacks his back and he probably thinks, yeah, and he tells the story. And probably, and this is just Bygleology, I don't know for sure, but he probably goes and he probably, as he's sitting there, he probably gets up and walks to a place in the palace there, and he comes back and he's got a little bag with 4 stones. He still says there's still four giants out there. There's still 4 giants out there. Yeah, I killed him. You've heard the story. But there's still 4 giants out there. They want to kill me. And as these boys look and wonder, they look and they think, hear the story, maybe they say this, man, I hope I get the chance. I hope I get the chance to kill a giant. For you younger folks, you younger couples, you know what? You guys need to get a desire to do something great. Kill some giants. Sure, you go and you'll talk to Brother Emmett, and Brother Emmett would say, you know what? I did some great things. I've done some bad things too. But I guarantee you, he would go and maybe he would go and he would talk to Justin and he would say, you know what? I want you to do something better than I did. Become something better than me. I'm sure